In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make the other person start the conversation first. I'm Chris Hollywood from the ACE Formula. Welcome. Love this question. However, want to clarify some ambiguities about it before we get into some techniques. One, getting the other person to start the conversation first, if you're in an online dating app kind of scenario, is a complete no-no. Don't do that. There are some subtle things you can do in creating your profile to maybe make that a little bit more likely, but just it's a no. So first and foremost, I want to say that everything I'm about to teach you is presuming that you are in the same physical space with a person, essentially in a face-to-face interaction. If you're on a dating app, just the answer is no. You should start the conversation and lead the conversation. In the ACE Formula, we teach you how to do that in a very consistent and reliable way that pretty much always gets results. Secondly, in the ACE Formula, particularly in my section that I coach, which is A for abundance, I go over ways to make you starting the conversation very easy. So once again, I want to be clear that this is a cool technique to learn, but it's something more of an advanced technique, and it shouldn't be your bread and butter. You should be able to start a conversation with absolutely anyone. What I always tell the students that I speak with every week on the ACE Formula is that my job is to teach you how to make friends rapidly with strangers. That's fundamentally the root and the core of my abundance training. Making friends rapidly with strangers, which means you're starting a lot of conversations. But we teach you how to make it really easy, really low pressure, and really smooth and natural. Now, given those caveats, I'm going to teach you some advanced techniques to make the other person start the conversation first. So, number one is to speak their thoughts. This is how you do that. First, it comes from observing. One of the most important social skills you can learn is to observe other people and empathize with what they're going through. A great exercise is just to sit in a coffee shop or a train station and watch people walk by. Just be a people watcher and observe them. If you can observe people and then start to empathize what they might be thinking, what they might be feeling, what's going on in their head right now, and then you actually spoke to that internal monologue, they will open up and immediately start a conversation and continue, because they were talking to themselves, because that was really the only person that wanted to listen to whatever it was they were talking about. And then you just spoke because you observed something interesting or relevant to them and demonstrated that you were thinking or observing the same thing that they were thinking about. That person will immediately start a conversation with you, talking about that thing that was going on in their head, because now they got a friend, someone with a commonality who sees the same observable thing or experience that they're going through. Now they have someone to share that with, so they're going to start a conversation with you about that thing. It's going to be super easy. It might be tough to cut them off. See how I'm having trouble not talking about this, because I love to talk about this precise topic. Social interactions, that's why I'm a coach for the ACE Formula. So that's the idea. Speaking their thoughts. If you can observe what someone is thinking in their head and then speak to that at that time, they will immediately start a conversation with you. So the second technique to get the other person to start the conversation, and this obviously should and can be combined with number two, is to be seen and perceived as being friendly and safe. This is really important, and it's core to a lot of the social training that we teach in the ACE Formula. If you can be seen as friendly and safe and a relaxed person, people are going to feel comfortable starting a conversation with you. One of the best ways to do that is by starting a conversation with somebody else, somebody passing by. Again, let's say, for example, you're at a bar. Having a friendly banter with the bartender is going to make someone sitting next to you more likely to start a conversation with you, because it just shows that you're a friendly person, you're a safe person, and you're getting some social proof to demonstrate, hey, it's cool to talk to that person. That person's nice, friendly. They're not going to bite my head off. They're not going to be mean to me. If people can observe, hey, you were being friendly to somebody else, that goes a long way. Now, the third technique to get someone else to start the conversation is to demonstrate something of interest to that person. Now, this is tricky, right? You can't necessarily get a particular person and force a conversation with you with this technique. But what it does is it opens you up to having a number of people start conversations with you. So for example, wearing, say, a t-shirt from a particular band or a concert, right? Wearing that in a place where people who might like that music are going to be or anywhere, quite frankly, you're likely to get approached and people saying, hey, love your t-shirt. That's my favorite band too, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do. One of my favorite examples of this is sports teams, especially in places where that team doesn't play. So here's an example from my own life. I lived in London for a long time and supported the English football team, soccer to Americans, Arsenal. So when I'm in New York City wearing my Arsenal jersey or an Arsenal scarf and somebody sees that, again, it's a London-based soccer team in New York, people comment on it. So anyone who knows what that is, and sometimes even people who support Arsenal's rivals will also comment on it in a friendly, teasing way, right? Because they see some commonality, and I've demonstrated a commonality that I am a fan of British soccer, English football. So using your clothing in a variety of ways to demonstrate some of your commonalities. Something that I also like to do when I'm working out in the park is wear my Krav Maga t-shirt. Other people in the park who also do Krav Maga will often comment saying, oh, I train there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm like, oh, that's why I never see you. I always train there on Mondays and Wednesdays, right? Or I go to this other Krav Maga gym. Oh, I used to practice. These are ways that people will be encouraged and welcomed to start a conversation with you. As we teach in the ACE formula, the best way for you to learn how to start a conversation and keep it going is to find commonalities. That's a key element that you'll notice I speak of a lot, is identifying commonalities with other people to help build friendships and start conversations and keep them going. By displaying those things and those interests and hobbies that you have on your body with your clothes, some people even may do it with a tattoo, you're giving people an easy window into making commonalities with you, because you're signaling to them things that they can talk to you about very easily and what they can start a conversation with you about. Now, obviously, combining all three of those tactics is really the winning formula. So if you can combine having commonalities that people can see on you, demonstrating that you are friendly and safe by speaking to other people, and then also speaking someone's thoughts, not necessarily to them, but to somebody else, which also demonstrates you're friendly, that is going to make it really easy for someone to start a conversation with you. So for example, if I'm at a bar, I'll speak to the bartender about something that I observed. So one, I've observed something that they can see, and I'm speaking their thoughts, but I'm not speaking it to them, I'm speaking it to the bartender. The person sitting next to me can see that I'm friendly and I'm safe. And then three, they can see that, hey, I have an Arsenal jersey. That's a topic that we can have a conversation about. I hope that's helpful. I'm Chris Hollywood from the ACE Formula. Talk to you guys soon.